Ryan Ragland with the Racing Boys, talking with the voice of the Lucas Oil Late Model Series, James Essex, and our yearly talk is never boring and is never of a lack of information. I just got in talking with Joe Kosiski, one of the owners here at I-80, and I'll watch you guys Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and I'll listen to you, and that's my research, because you have all the information. So I'm just going to rehash stuff that you said, and you've kind of talked about it, and we can comment on it. But for a track, a group with the sponsors, with the staff that they have to pull off 5 days and 500,000 miles is absolutely something you will not see at every track in the U.S.
Well, it's a record tonight for start money, because no dirt late model race in the history of this sport has ever paid as much to start. $5,300 tonight. The largest was a Show Me 100 several years ago, at $4,200. So $1,100 more, and Joe just has to one up everybody, and that's great. And these drivers love it. Yeah, you sit there and you look at and think, you guys got 44 cars, and we got 44 great drivers, and well, how come so-and-so in here, and how come this and that? And it's like, I just worry about the guys that are here. The guys here want to race, and I just think it's something, you know, there's a lot of circumstances this year with the car count. I mean, usually we average low to mid-50s anyway for this race, and there's a lot of things going on tonight, and the way diesel fuel is and the way parts are hard to come by for a lot of these guys. I mean, there's guys that haven't even run all year because they can't get parts for their motors from the engine builders. So we're very happy. I mean, you know, yeah, we'd love to see 55, 60 cars, but it is what it is. And I talk about the guys that are here and not the guys that are not here. And we'll see some of them down the road, and that'll be great. But this place, will probably be a record crowd here tonight.
Well, and I can't remember who it was, and I'm sure you'll remember. Someone broke down and needed a part and had to drive down to Kansas City to get the part.
Well, actually, yeah, that was Tap Hospital, and actually what did happen, they had told me originally they had to drive down and get some parts. Well, actually, they went down and picked up a whole engine. So, you know, but it's like, you know, how did they get the parts, you know, because a lot of these engine builders are short on parts, as I said, and there's some guys that are still about 12 weeks out and getting parts in to get their motor done if they've had to have it refreshened or whatever. But and then of course we're dealing with a tire shortage as well, and we had to change the tire rule a week or so ago, and I think it's worked out pretty good as far as the tire. Everybody's on the same kind of tire, from Hoosier, so we'll see how it goes tonight for 80 laps.
Well, and you were talking about, you know, guys shortage for parts and
right.
gas prices and everything. And
right.
I made the comment to a few times, and on the show this morning, that having a 5-day show at one track does nothing but almost save these guys money, because they don't have
right.
all that travel time.
Well, it's like being at East Bay for a week, you know, and all that. They get one check for winner circle check, because we're at the same track. If we were two different tracks, they'd get two different checks. But the money, I mean, it's just the non-qualifiers race tonight, the last chance race, whatever you want to call it, that pays $1,000 just to start. That's why, like, a guy like a Junior Coover is so heartbroken, because when he broke a drive shaft the other and he did some other damage to the transmission and rear end and he couldn't get it fixed, it's like, man, $1,000 to somebody like that would be, I mean, that's like, you know, to you, that's like $1 million.
Yeah, it is. Pretty much it is. Obviously, you know what I do for a living. But, you know, yeah, Cooper, a guy that, you know, he has the iconic, I look for him to be here every year. And then
right,
when I saw
and in Knoxville every year as well, he's there.
Yeah, and he's a local guy, and
right.
he does it for the enjoyment of it. And,
right.
and very respectful. He gets out of the way if he needs to and stuff, and guys don't worry about him.
Right.
But yeah, it's just a bad deal. But when you can get situations like that where you don't have all that travel time, it just helps them out money-wise. And then, okay, then we're back to the 500,000 and all the sponsors that Joe had talked about. It goes to, you know, this time of year that everyone looks forward to it, and then on top of that, you take a look at the staff that Joe has here is
right.
second to none.
Right, and it takes people. I mean, I've been a promoter before, and I've been around this a long, long time, and been to so many different tracks. I mean, they work so hard, and like I said, on the track prep and all that. I mean, you never see a speck of dust off the racetrack. And,
no.
You know, like today, you had some sunshine earlier and then cloudiness, and you know, and you have to deal with the heat, and you have to deal with all this, and you know, the way the weather's been. Last year they had to deal with a pandemic. You've got limited capacity at some races, and this year it's pretty well opened up everywhere. But I mean, it's and we've had so many rainouts in the series. I mean, it's just not even funny. And it seems like we've only had, this will probably be only our third good weekend of the year that we've had since Florida. We had one at Ponderosa in Florence, Kentucky back in April 1st of May, and we had in Ohio the July 4th weekend. But other than that, until this weekend, there's been a high percentage of rain, or it has rained, and we've gotten canceled or postponed. So it's been a very frustrating stretch, but it's good to go 5 days in a row. I don't know if I want to do it every week, but
you almost got worried in Wheatland not long ago.
Right. Well, coming next month when we go to Florence, Batesville, and Port Royal, those are 3-day deals, so that's a little more manageable.
Yeah, and we'll just jump right into what's going on tonight as we're getting ready for the Silver Dollar Nationals. Talking with James Essex, the voice of the Lucas Oil Late Models, and I made the comment this morning. What kind of odds do you think I could have gotten in Vegas if I would have said, "Hey, what are you going to give me if I tell you Stormy Scott and Chase Youngins is going to be on the front row?"
Well, if you were in dirt draft, probably you wouldn't get a whole lot of bucks there. But that's great, and that's great for the sport. Now, I know passing points, you could qualify, and that's okay, and run heat races, that's okay. You can pill draw and then do this. I mean, they get 2 chances, and it's just one of those things. I think, it's all right. I mean, you had guys making moves on all races, young hands, and Stormy did a great job, and kudos to them. And they might, one of them may end up winning tonight. It would be the biggest win of their career, and we'll be talking about that. But you got the best of the best here. I mean, and it's going to be tough. And will tire management come into it? Sure. I mean, you look at it last year, if you remember. I mean, it was 101 laps last year. If it had been the regular 80, I think Chad Simpson would have won the race, right? If it had been the regular.
It was about 20 to go. And
yeah,
that's when Brandon Shepard started coming in.
So, a guy like a Chris Simpson or even a Chad Simpson. But, Stormy Scott, I mean, he's one of the most improved drivers other than Tyler Bruning, I think we've seen in dirt late model racing this year.
Well, and, Tyler Bruning and Ryan Gustin are battling rookies. And me and Joe were talking about how he said he would like to see like the Eric Amarola of the late models come up with a big win tonight, which would be awesome. And we're sitting there naming off, let's see, it'd be cool if Scott Bloomquist would come up with a win. It hasn't had one for a while. And then you talk about Simpsons, Ryan Gustin, if Gustin won this thing after he's had that great run a few years ago. And regardless of who you want to see win, you know that when you come here, you're going to see a great race tonight.
Well, you look at Tyler Erb. I mean, the guy comes in there, the last 2 features we run, he's led 83 consecutive laps. So he's going to start, I think, 9th tonight. So if he grabbed lead on the first lap, the more power to him. But you just never know. But, they've been rolling this week. And you come Brandon Overton, look at all the big money the last 2 months. I mean, simply unbelievable. 127,000 and 126,000 at Eldora, and 30,000 at the Firecracker, then 20,000 last Sunday at Charlotte. And he's only made this race once, and that was like 7 years ago. He hasn't been there obviously that much, but 2014 was the last time he had made the race. And, we've had 8 different winners of this race in, 10 years. Only Bloomquist and Davenport have won it more than once. But, Brandon Shepard, he'll be a contender. Now, he's been, it seems like, a little off this year, but the competition, the thing of it is, everybody's got good equipment. I say that all the time. Everybody's got good equipment. Mm-hmm. They all got good motors. They all got good chassis. Everything, is good, and, Longhorn and Rocket are up there, but, we got Capitals and the Black Diamonds and all that, and they're going to be in there, but, man, oh man, I mean, I'd like to see a guy like a Kyle Bronson. That would be, his biggest win of his career is like a 12,000. So, and
he's really improved in the last few months, especially when he came to Eldora, and he goes, hey,
absolutely,
I'm setting up for the lip, and I'm not moving off.
Yeah, that guy, he's been rolling. I mean, ever since then, he's been good, and Brian Shirley's been good. He just had a lot of bad luck finishing, so we'll see what happens.
Talking about the point series with Tim McCready leading, and I think he has a 45 point lead, and Jonathan Davenport has really come up when he had that slow start, but a lot of his wins have come up off the Lucas Oil series, but it doesn't matter. The guy's running good, and for him to come back from where he was, bypassed Hudson O'Neill for second place, and So you've got to look at McCready, who's he's kind of been quiet, but he's always going to be a threat to big money. You've got Davenport, who's on the roll on the Lucas Oil Series. You know, Hudson O'Neal, he's going to throw his money in there, and Tyler Erb and all that. I mean, well, this has been a great year so far.
Well, yeah, I mean, we've had 12 different winners, but we've had a lot of repeat winners lately, which is fine and dandy. And you know, I think a guy from the polls only won like 4 times in 26 races, 4 or 5 times in 26 races. Yep. So now, you know, Tyler Erb completely dominated the other night. I mean, he won by 5.5 seconds. But Hudson O'Neal's getting back in there. He's only 125 behind now. Yeah, this thing's going to go down in the end because after Florida, you know, everybody giving up on JD. He was like 14 in points, saying, yeah, he probably won't run this deal. He'll just run big shows and
he goes, oh, really? I'll be right back.
Yeah, I'll be right back. He goes to Bristol and all this and wins that, and that was 50,000. And then, I mean, he only won like what 5 times last year. He's won
15, 16, something
yeah,
in the
he's
area.
right in there, and you know, he's in another car than he has been, but I don't know. I mean, like Ricky Thorne Jr., I mean, that guy, I mean, what could have been if he, you know, he's going to get in the show most likely, obviously, as a provisional.
He has a provisional.
Right, in that heartbreak in that heat race last night, and that guy runs well here. I mean, he's only been here since last year, and give him a thread, but I mean, you know, I look back to that race with Gustin. You know, we've seen Bobby Pierce come from the back. So,
last year I think Bobby he started out of the B, I think, and by the break of the 50 laps, he was in the top 10.
Right, and he had some issues, but yeah, you know, that time he was in the Dunn Benson car. You know, he come from the back, and then the motor soured on him there at the end. But he finally did get the win a couple years ago. And I know he wanted to be here, and I understand where these guys are coming from. I mean, he's paying his own bills, you know. I mean, you know, he's running that Summer Nationals, and as everybody knows, I think it's going too long. I think it should have been cut off about a week or so ago. But you know, Bobby, what do you do? I mean, you got 25,000 set in front of you. Winning the points, you're most likely going to do that, and you know, you've got all this other stuff going on. But I know he wanted to be here, and we know that. But maybe next year.
Yeah. Talking with James Essex, the voice of the Lucas Oil late models, and you know, everyone says, "Who's your pick? Who's your pick?" Well, I'm going to stick with my picks with being either Tyler Erb or Brandon Overton. How can you go against the number 1 ranked driver in late models, and you know, one of the guy they had was on it Wednesday and Thursday, but there's just so many options that you can have here, and when you come across and look at the whole aspect of how well this whole Silver Dollar Nationals is ran, this is one of the meccas.
Absolutely. 10th place is $6,600.
Yeah.
I mean, are you kidding me? Yeah. I mean, a guy like a Spencer Hughes, young guy from Mississippi, driving for Connors in Indiana. The biggest win of his career is $5,000. He's already in the show tonight. He's going to earn at least $5,300. That's the most money he's ever made.
And all he has to do is just get on the track.
Yeah, I mean, he's had some good paydays, but nothing like this. And you know, it's just that's just the way it ought to be. I mean, people are kind of, you know, it's been this way for years. As far as people are tired of what they call the Dolly Parton payoffs.
And the one thing
heavy on the top side because you know Florence is really up in it. Like the payoff they had a couple years ago here in a few weeks. So. I mean, it's just tremendous, and that's why these guys love it. And you'd like to have 60 or 70 cars, but in today's the way things are, like I said, fuel prices, tire shortages, part shortages, and all that. But
makes it kind of tough.
Makes it tough, but all these guys that make the show are going to walk. Even the guys that don't make the race stuff, they're going to get at least $1,000 in that non-qualifiers race.
I'd be remiss if we didn't say a little bit about Dave Algebright, who just announced his retirement at the end of the season. And as we were talking before we started this, at least I got the honor to meet a guy that I've watched on TV for so many years, and the guy that has been nothing but a class act. And it's just it's who Dave Algebright is, someone that you've worked with for many years.
Right.
And it's going to be a little bit of a void next year.
Right, and you know, I don't know if he likes the word retirement, but it's kind of, I mean, you just never know. I mean, you just don't know. And I understand he's been on the road a long time, and just like he said, you wake up you know, in a different state every Sunday, and the drive home. He lives in Indiana where I do, and it's like, you know, and you get to a certain age, and you're just, you know, you're over it. Basically, you're kind of,
Yeah.
you know, and no, I've known Dave. I think I first met him in the early '90s when he was an open wheel guy. I mean, he's sprint car midget, stuff like that, and that's great. And those guys, much respect to them. And then he's come over to the late model side and well liked in the pit area, professionalism.
Yep.
I mean, nobody says a bad word about the guy, and that's great. And yeah, we're going to miss him. I mean, it's going to be a tough void to fill, and I don't know, you know, I don't know how they're going to go about hiring somebody. You know, if it's a female, male, whoever, I mean, that's wide open on that. Who knows? But I mean, it may take two of them to replace one. But Dave's been a great author. I think he's authored 17 books. He's working on one for Jimmy Owens. Of course, he's done one. Earl Baldus, Larry Moore, Jimmy Sills, Brad Doty, Jack Hewitt, people like that. But I mean, it's just been an honor and a pleasure, and just a true professional, very humble. And you know, I learned a lot from him, and we're going to miss him, but we still got a lot of races to go this year, and it's he and I tonight. Bob's doing an ARCA race in Iowa tonight, so we're going to have fun, and we're going to put on a show hopefully for this huge crowd here tonight.
And real quick, we have to mention Mav TV Plus.
Mm-hmm.
Great website with everything you get for $100 for the whole year subscription.
Right.
I don't care who you are. With the content that you have there, you are not going to beat it, and I personally think it's undersold. It's worth so much more.
Well, it is, and you know, we admitted it. I mean, we've had some issues in the switchover, and this has been in the plans since about last October, and they've worked hard on it. And there's just some. We've got a lot of things. We've brought in some computer IT guys to help out this week. We want to take care of the subscribers, the people that are subscribers that, you know, can get them on there and watch this. Because they're not happy when they're not watching it. And this, like I said, this is the first time having to do ever, because we got complaints the last several years. Well, how come you don't do every race? So we do every race, and then we have an app issue. And like I said, we're working on it, and we admit that there's an issue, but we're working through it. And you know, hopefully, coming in a few weeks, we'll get everything ironed out. But we've been able to really. There's a lot of people behind the scenes: Dan Robinson, Bob, myself, Amanda Francis. Robbie and Jesse and everybody with Lucas Oil, they really chipped in and trying to take care of the customers. You know, I mean, I'm not going to be happy till we take care of everybody, because everybody messaged me, and that's great because we've taken care of a ton of people. But you know, I've kind of like, I guess I could be you know, everybody knows me as like the face of the series, like, you know, and I've been in sales and customer service for 30 some years, so I know how to deal with people, and you know, you gotta treat it with kindness. You gotta, you know. And you just got to go from there, and they could cuss you out 1 minute, and the next minute you just got to smile and just go from there. But you got to take care of it. And I know there's still some probably frustrated. They can't get on. They kind of give up after a few times. But hang in there with us. We're going to get this thing, and it's a great product, like you said. It's a great product. The production staff. I mean, you know, there's a lot of streaming services out there. Once this thing gets up and going 100%. It's going to be spectacular.
I've got mine, and there's no way I'm letting go of it. There's too much information, too much stuff going on. I'm talking with James Essex, the voice of the Lucas Oil Late Model Series. Got to catch up with you every year.
Appreciate it.
And hey, Knoxville is right around the corner, and I'll catch you there.
I'll catch you there. So who's your pick tonight?
You're
still going with. You got to pick two. You're going with Overton and
I got to box them. Overton or Herb.
I'll go with Kyle Brunson.
That works.
Just for the heck of it, and I'm just you know, just saying that
he keeps messing around. He keeps messing around in the top 5. He's going to make a mistake and actually catch a win. So, and he has to sell shirts.
Yes, he has to sell shirts. He has a great shirt collection down there. But the thing of it is you know, his performance at Eldora. I mean, it's carried over, and if that high side at the end. Look out.
Yeah, there it is. James Essex, voice of the Lucas Oil Late Models. We will see you in Knoxville.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much.